Two teams desperately looking for a win will wrap up our doubleheader on Friday night. The Roughriders, who are winless in their last 7 games, are in Calgary to face the Stampeders, who have also not won in their last 5. Who will break out of their slump and whose misery will continue? We are about to find out.
It's Friday, coast to coast. The CFL is Canada's game. Well, we're all pumped up to party, and we're ready for a fight. Come on, get back, relax, watch some Friday night football. The boys will be back. The CFL football game is up for grabs. It's Friday night football tonight.
Well, when it's bad, it's bad. Frustrations boiled over this week for the Roughriders at practice. Corey Mace not pleased with his team's effort. Trevor Harris and company hoping the message was received and they can snap their slide tonight. Meanwhile, back under center after being benched, Jake Maier so much better last week, completing 29 of 37 passes, 236 yards and a touchdown. But at the end of the game, he said, it didn't really feel like anything because it was a tie. And now we've had 2 ties this season, and let's hope we don't have a 3rd tie because nobody likes a tie. No. Kate, alongside Jim Barker, Davis Sanchez, Milt Stegall, as we get set for this Western showdown. And look, if you take a look at the Western standings here, I mean, this is such an important game, especially because the Elks and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers will play tomorrow as well. Yep. Winnipeg's still at the top here at 7-6. BC right there at 7-7. They're on their bye. The Riders at 5-7-1. It's amazing to think they have lost 16 games in a row since Labor Day. Edmonton all of a sudden surging. And then Calgary, as I mentioned, too, they're 0-4-1 over their past 5 games. But really, anyone still has a shot at this point. That's kind of the cool part, isn't it, Milt?
Without a doubt. Both of these teams still have an opportunity to get themselves into the playoffs, but they got to start winning. This is the desperation bowl. Both of these teams are desperate. You can see coaches getting furious. You saw Coach Mace, and we know how calm and unassuming he is, but I guess when you're losing like they are, he gets mad. And Coach Dickey is turning purple, but both of these teams got to put themselves in a position to get into the playoffs, and it starts right here. Whichever team wins today, hey, they're looking good, where the other team is thinking like, here we go again. So it's going to be a tough battle, but let's hope both of these teams are up for it.
You take anything from the Corey Mace walking out of practice and the players having their own practice or going back out there? You take anything from that?
I don't take anything from that.
Coach's motivation. Coach just trying to motivate.
I thought Jake Maier had some interesting comments this week, and Jake talked about, they've been through so much together as a team, and losses is what he's talking about, the losses they've had together. And he said, and he did. He said at this point, and disappointment, he said at this point, we just want to go out there and let it loose and have fun and see if we can make something happen, which I thought, at this point for those guys, that's where they're at. I mean, it is the desperation bowl, but maybe that loosens them up, maybe allows them to play free, and we'll see.
Well, one of these quarterbacks has got to step up. They make a move a couple years ago, Huffnagel and Dave Dickinson, and basically send Bo Levi Mitchell, who's playing very well now, to let him go so that Jake can play. But he hasn't held up his end of the bargain in big ball games. Trevor Harris was brought here to win these kind of games. He wasn't brought here to give them a 5. He was brought here to win games like this, games they need to win. He was brought here to win them a Grey Cup. Well, they can't win the Grey Cup if they can't win a game like tonight. They need to get this done.
We talk about Saskatchewan having, we call it the Labor Day lag, the way they've played after Labor Day. But another point, Dave Dickinson has never missed the playoffs in his CFL career. The only time he missed the playoffs when he went to the Chargers and played with Davis Sanchez. It was all his fault. But as far as CFL career goes, never missed a playoff.
Yeah. And you know what we said, too? I mean, if you're watching the Argonauts and Tiger Cat game tonight, too, I mean, we're watching it at the corner of our eye. It's a great Friday night of football. But, the best part of this game is the quarterback play. And that's exactly what we're looking for here tonight. And neither one of these guys have really proven that, you know what, big games, big times. We'll see what happens tonight because both of them desperately need this victory.
chill in the air in Calgary as we settle in for the second half of a Friday night football double dip at McMahon Stadium. It's week 16, and there's no shortage of drama heading into this one. You've got Calgary, they're winless in 5. You've got the Riders, they're winless in 7, and they're going to have probably rely on their veteran quarterback to flip the script here.
Well, in the last 2 games for Trevor Harris, he has averaged over 300 yards passing in both of them, but didn't get the win in either. Those should be numbers that are good enough to win. He trade in the numbers for a W tonight. Jake Mayer has a good career record against Saskatchewan. Beat the Riders their last 2 times out, but Mayer didn't get the win versus the Owls last week. He did get a tie and told us this week real positive steps for the offense.
Dave Dickinson started the season with 4 straight wins at home. They are 0-2-1 in their last 3 games at home. And on the other side with Corey Mace, as we mentioned, winless in 7 after an absolutely terrific start. Their last win just over 2 months ago. Rider Nation knows it. You didn't need to hear it again, but this is a big one for both of these teams tonight. Calgary will get the ball to start. Huge game with the way that the standings currently sit in the West. You don't technically have to have it, but you kind of have to have it. And we are ready to get going. It'll be Brett Lawther who kicks us off. The Riders in the white boot it away, and we are underway at McMahon. Logan on the return, near side, kicks his way back out just beyond the 30. And that is where Jake Mayer will get the ball to start the game.
Yeah, again, career record for Jake Mayer against Saskatchewan is excellent. 4-1, and has won his last 2 those last year. Completion percentage over 70, 16 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. He's been pretty good at that, but for the Labor Day game. And then he got pulled. They went with Logan Bonner, who threw 5 picks in the rematch, and it was Jake back last week against Montreal.
He was 29 of 37 for 236 yards. Had a touchdown in that tie against Montreal. And we'll start here on his own 32. They'll start it on the ground. There's a flag on the first play as Mills takes it up close, just shy of the 35.
Offside, Saskatchewan, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Good news for the Stamps and their fans that get Zach Williams back in the offensive line, one of their veteran interior linemen. He'll play that left guard position for Bryce Bell, who's still out but close to returning. We know what Reggie Bagleton can do. He'll be their MOP candidate, I'm sure. If Marky Michelle has a complimentary game, good news for the Stamps.
Right up the middle on a 1st and 5. Steady diet of Dedrick Mills, I'm sure, here early.
Well, he's coming off a big game. In that tie against Montreal, Dedrick Mills had 21 carries for 122 yards, really brought balance. That was one of the positive things that Jake Mayer was talking about. Our offense moved the ball well. He threw the ball well. Didn't throw an interception against Montreal. That's a very good defense, arguably the best defense in the league. And they rushed for over 100 yards.
Tommy Stevens into the game, had that big goal line fumble against Montreal last week. Needs a yard here after 4 for Mills. Stevens has it. No. Here goes Tommy Stevens up to the 40. Can anybody catch him? I don't think so. He's gone. House call, Tommy Stevens. He's done it again. 69 yards and a bang to start the game for the Stampeders.
Boy, he takes it wide, and he's going to get a key block from the guy I just mentioned, who's going to be the MOP nominee for the Calgary Stampeders no matter how they finish. He gets the edge block. Without that block, there's no play. But off goes Tommy Stevens outside, and no one was catching him from behind.
Redemption for Tommy Stevens.
Absolutely.
After what happened in that last game, to start this game with his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. And what a start for the Stampeders. Oh, how about this? for the second week in a row. This one on an extra point attempt. Oh, we got one of those nights shaping up at McMahon. Calgary is on the board first. They lead 6-0 in the first quarter.
Know what Reggie Bagleton can do blocking for the run game or whatever it may be, even short yardage game, but they also get a big block from Mark and Michelle, the Calgary Stampeders, on the inside on C.J. Rivas. He seals the inside. Bagleton gets the kick out, and Tommy Stevens is gone.
Had an 85-yard touchdown run earlier in his career. This one goes for 69, and the Calgary Stampeders, who've not had a lot go right for them this season, cannot ask for a better start. Well, Paredes could have hit the extra point.
That's a big play for Tommy Stevens, though. That fumble on the 2-yard line, I guarantee you bugged him all week long.
Mario Alford will take it at the 15. Alford, did he get a block? Look at this return. All the way out beyond the 45. 32-yard return. And an excellent starting field position for Trevor Harris.
Well, this is a great way to just grab a little bit of the momentum back. If your returner can do this, and Mario Alford gets a nice block to get to the outside and get to the sideline, and then real good field position for Trevor Harris. Basically 2 first downs away from adding some points of his own. Either a major, they can finish the drive, or a field goal.
Going back to the Banjo Bowl, Trevor Harris 21 of 33, 287, couple touchdowns, couple of picks in that game against Winnipeg. Those started on the ground all the way up to midfield. Brock Armstead joining the team and getting the first touch.
Yeah, just think about Trevor Harris's journey here this year. I mean, he started the season 3-0 and had a couple of games over 300 yards passing to start the season, then injured again, comes back, and as you mentioned, pretty good numbers in the Banjo Bowl, good enough numbers to win. Good enough numbers to win in the last 2 games.
7 yards on that first touch for Armstead. Harris will bring him back in to his left here. Now he'll head out to the flat, wide open, far side. And that is taken up the far side of the field by Jojo.
Joe right on the outside. He's going to just die right in the sideline.
th catch of the season for Joe. Does have a 100-yard game under his belt. First and 10 for the Riders from the Calgary 46. On the ground again. Armstead trying to kick it to the outside. Williams, Hauser are both there, and they wrap him up.
So they get a couple of guards, interior offensive lineman back. Nick Jones, second start for him at the right guard spot. Noah Zur, second start for him inside. Now they're going to have their hands full with Mike Rose. In the receiving corps, including the tailback, here's the change. Brock Armstead, former Ottawa Red Black, gets a start after just a couple of practices at tailback.
They need to get things going on the ground. Less than 80 yards per game. This one through the air, that'll work down the field. First catch of the ball game for Emilus.
Take a look at the coverage here from Micah Alway. Micah Alway on this zone look is going to widen like he's going to be the deep, but he takes Bain on that short little bang route to the outside. So he jumps that inside route. As soon as Trevor Harris sees that and number 7 vacate, there's his open passing lane.
Emilus, 109 targets on the season. Coming into this one, 22 yards on that first catch of the game. There's a look at his numbers. He's got 4 touchdowns. Sean Bain leads the Riders with 5. Keyshawn Johnson has had 4 in his last 4 games. He's got a streak going of 4 in a row. And Joe, another one of their weapons, down on the field at the 20, and we will step away from McMahon with the Riders driving. Well, earlier we were talking about Trevor Harris in the last couple of games. When you stretch that back, he hasn't been bad during this stretch.
No, real good. And you take a look at the 300 yards passing on average per game and 4 losses by a total of 11 points. But what's been missing has been the run game. And even though it's not Frankie Hicks' spot, certainly not A.J. Ouellette for being injured. But that's why I think Corey Mace went with Rock Armstead.
First down here, he'll get it to Schaefer Baker. Can he find a blocker too? He'll take it down inside the 15. Decent pickup on first down against this Calgary defense.
Yeah, take a look at that defensive line. 2 interior guys. We talked about the matchup. Noah Zerr versus Nick Jones. Josiah Coatney inside with Mike Rose. Coatney back after missing last week. Their leader in the defensive tackle department is Cameron Judge all of a sudden. And in the back end, Mario Houston has had sort of an off and on season. Started real strong, leads the team in interceptions, and is second in defensive tackles.
Riders into the red zone, 60% so far this season. They'll hand it off right up the middle. Nice burst there from Armstead. And he gets up and gets in the face of Alway.
Real nice down block off the edge here to get that block right there on on James Vaughters. Good down block right on the inside by Trayvon Tate, and Rock Armstead right off that block. A little kick out by Schaefer Baker. 8-yard gain.
Armstead's got 17 yards in his first 3 carries. First and goal from the Calgary 7 as the Riders look for an immediate response. 3 options out to the right for Harris. Calgary bring a little bit of pressure. Gets it away. Keyshawn Johnson tackled just shy of the end zone. He was looking to make it 5 games in a row with a touchdown, but Cam Judge is there.
A little slant route here. Keyshawn Johnson. Excuse me, that was Emlis on the corner route. Johnson comes down on the inside from that wideout spot.
It'll be second and goal from the 1. Shea Patterson into the game. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns on this season. Quarterback keeper coming here. Patterson pushing it ahead, and he's in. Touchdown Riders. And just like that, they bounce back after giving up the big touchdown to Tommy Stevens, and we're tied at 6.
You know, we probably don't talk about it enough, but Mario Alford's return really takes a little of the wind out of the sail. First of all, when Rennie Paredes misses the extra point after the Tommy Stevens touchdown, that takes a little wind out of the sail. Then the big return gets you almost to midfield for Saskatchewan. Trevor Harris, no time at all, is right down there on the doorstep, and Shea Patterson finishes off the drive.
Trevor Harris on that drive, 4 pass attempts, 4 pass completions for 45 yards. Brett Lothar, he's perfect. 30 for 30 with the extra this season. Bangs through another one. And Shea Patterson finishes what Trevor Harris started. And number 5 on the Riders has 5 touchdowns now this year.
What a response drive by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Starts with Mario Alford and the big return. Get it almost to midfield, and then Trevor Harris goes to work. 8 plays, 63 yards, couple of carries to Rock Armstead. His first game as a Saskatchewan Roughrider. Nice throw down to the goal line to get him set up for the Shea Patterson touchdown. 8 plays, 63 yards, 4 minutes and 33 seconds.
Logan takes it just inside his own 15. Broke 1 tackle, then got hammered after that. Onyeka right in his face. Jake Mayer. It's funny, this game's 7-6. He hasn't even attempted a pass yet. Dedrick Mills with a carry, Tommy Stevens with the big one, and now maybe we get a look at Jake Mayer tonight.
And Dedrick Mills against a very good run defense in Saskatchewan. In fact, the #1 run defense in the league.
They allow less than 74 yards per game on the ground. Mayer from the pocket down the field, and that is bobbled and dropped by Barnes. Probably should have had that one.
Well, definitely should have had that one. I mean, that hit him right on time. He's got a nice run here on that post. And Jake Mayer put it right where he had to put it. He had that little soft spot in the zone defense. Hit him right in the hands.
He's going to want that one back.
Sometimes in that area, though, receivers know that there's a safety hanging out back there.
You don't want to think about it, but it's probably just natural, isn't it? Mayer throwing again, and that one incomplete at the feet of Philpott. And a quick 2-and-out for the Stampeders. Dave Dickinson, conversation with his quarterback.
Well, I think he basically, I can't really read lips, but it looked like to me he was just saying to Jake, that first throw, that was
good throw.
Yeah. Nice job. We'll get back to it.
Cody Grace set to kick it away. 46.5 yards per punt this year for Grace. Hangs this one up there. Alford will slide underneath it. 35-yard kick. Alford brings it back to the 50, and once again, excellent starting field position for the Riders.
I don't remember a year that the West has been such a logjam as it is right now. And you look at all the teams in the West, their games remaining, the points, how important this game is. Two teams, Calgary and Saskatchewan, both have a single point after ties this year. That may come into play. And they both play each other this game tonight and then the last game of the regular season, the first two matchups.
Down the field. That's tossed in there neatly. And Duncan Busby has the catch, having a chance to get in with the Joe being injured. That goes for 27 yards from Trevor Harris.
Yeah, I like the sell job from Trevor Harris. He's taken this football and looked like he's going to throw to the flat after this ride and decide play, and he just drops it into the hole. Duncan Busby, you're right, playing for a Joe. We'll get a report on how seriously he may be hurt, but in the meantime, opportunity. Duncan Busby.
This time on the ground, Armstead pushing it ahead. Takes it down inside the 30, and a nice start to this game for the Saskatchewan Roughriders offense.
Nice hard run. The only question when you're talking about a guy who's new to the team, that's only been there in the tailback spot for a couple practices, is there any terminology differences when it comes to run plays, protections in the passing game? But Trevor Harris, A.J. Ouellette can help him on the sideline. Trevor Harris can help him when they break the huddle.
6 yards for Armstead, 2nd and 4 for the Riders. Harris looks to the right, little pump fake. Now he's bouncing around the pocket, bit of a stumble, lunges ahead, and is going to be marked down at the 25. Yard and a half at least short, maybe a full 2.
Interesting here because it is about 2. Corey Mace must be tempted. You can take a field goal here.
Author will trot out. 75% on the year.
If it was 1.5, he probably goes. You could tell the way
big half yard.
Yeah, that's a big half yard.
Lawther for a 4-point lead early here for the visitors. 33-yard attempt, pretty much straight on, and he smooths that one home. Back-to-back scoring drives for the Riders. A nice start. It's been a tough couple of months for the Riders, and it was a tough practice week for the head coach, Corey Mace. For more on that, let's send it down to Claire Hanna.
Thank you very much, Dustin. And yes, at the beginning of the season, Corey Mace and the Riders made a pact about how hard they wanted to practice each day. And on Tuesday, those expectations were not met. Mace, in fact, said that things spiraled. He'd had enough. He said some words we can't repeat on national television. And he sent the players back into the locker room. Ended practice early. Well, back in the locker room, the first thought that came to mind to Trevor Harris was, I still have 6 plays that I need reps at. So the quarterback grabbed the offense and said, let's go finish practice. Well, the defense also went out, so players grabbed yard markers, chains, scout cards, and the Riders finished practice on their own with no coaches. Well, the team, they needed that strict reminder because this is a team that hasn't won since July 19th, and Mace says since that reset, the response has been outstanding and in line with a winning culture, and today on the field, it's their chance to prove it. Guys.
Wake-up call, right? Simple as that.
Yeah, simple as that. You shake the cage a little bit and just see what comes out. And I think it was a good response by the players.
Philpott, first catch of the game for him, takes it ahead for a pickup of about 4 yards.
When you think about him doing that for the first time this year, this is not part of something that he has done before. So, I think the big part of this story is the response from the players. They're sitting in the locker room. They didn't go, well, I guess we're going home. We'll come back tomorrow and start again. They looked at each other and said, we've got some work to finish. And they went out and finished it. So we'll see if it pays off tonight.
Riders load up that defensive line. Now they'll back it off. Mayer from the pocket. And that is a first down. They'll take it out just beyond the 50 as he goes back to Philpott. Once again, Philpott had just 3 catches last week. He's got 2 already here tonight.
That's trips to the wide side of the field, 3 receivers, and they kind of come out of a bunch formation, and who's going to open up? Jameer Thurman jumps the inside guy. Reggie Bagleton was the outside guy. He was covered, and Jake Mayer found Philpott.
Fresh set of downs from their own 53. On the ground here, spinning ahead was Mills. Positive yardage.
One of the reasons the Riders are so good against the run is because of their interior guys, their defensive line, Micah Johnson, Miles Brown, and when you look outside, they've tied in sacks with Brian Cox Jr. and Micah Johnson, both tied. Jameer Thurman, key in the middle, stopping the run, and one major change in the back end. Roland Milligan is out for personal reasons. Amari Henderson will play in his spot tonight.
Stamps need 7 more. They've got it down inside the 45. Markin Michel eventually wrapped up and taken down by Amari Henderson, but Michel is his first catch of the game.
I highlighted Markin Michel out of the intros because he has to play complementary football. The Calgary Stampeders has to find a go-to receiver other than Reggie Bagleton, because defensively, Saskatchewan can double Reggie Bagleton, especially on second downs. Mark Michel had his best game of the season against Montreal. They tied that game. In his second best game of this season, they beat Winnipeg. He's got to play well for the Stamps to be successful.
Looks like Coker.
Illegal procedure. Calgary, number 54. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
His procedure on Coker. He'll back him up, and it'll be 1st and 15.
Couple good throws in this drive from Jake Mayer.
Reggie's great. Reggie Bagleton's an excellent receiver. You make a great point on Markin Michel. Philpott, I think, could also be that guy, too, if they get him heavily involved, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Some more, targets in his direction really help this team. When they throw it in his direction, he catches it 80% of the time.
From the Rider 43, Mayer gets it away again, and that one over the head of Eccles. And it'll be 2nd and long for the Stamps.
Well, Jake Mayer had to get rid of that. He saw Jameer Thurman, who times up his blitz on this one really well. He comes from off the line of scrimmage, puts that shoulder right in the shoulder blades, the chest.
Played it clean, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He's there on time.
Big second down for the home side tonight. Mayer looks down the middle, dumps it off to his running back, and Mills pick up 15. Not going to happen. Puts them into a more makeable field goal situation just inside the 35.
Yeah, you see this a lot in the CFL this year, especially when offenses have a penalty like procedure or offside. That looked like Dedrick Mills limping off a little bit. They don't want to lose him. But you see it a lot. They get in the second and plus, so more than 10 yards. Rush 3, drop everybody off, force the offense to throw it underneath.
Paredes, rare week last week where he missed 2. This one is up. Look at that. Perfect. Right down the middle. Dave Dickinson, look at how he started. And now he's in some uncharted territory with a winning percentage of just .323 over the last couple of seasons. Here's what he had to say about what he's been through this year.
My advice to my players is look in the mirror and do better. Make sure you're doing your job. And so why wouldn't I just follow my own advice? Look in the mirror, find ways to be better, put it out there, lay it out there, and then sometimes as a result of the results, meaning sometimes you just get beat, but make sure you're prepared. You've done everything you feel you can to succeed, and then sometimes you just got to let the chips fall when they fall.
Hold yourself to the same standard you're going to hold your players to.
Great advice. That's where it starts, to look in the mirror. And for Dave Dickinson, he's looking in the mirror, and when he says, and do your job, Dickinson has more than one job now.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
Yeah, he's a very busy guy. He's the general manager. He is the head coach and the offensive coordinator. So he's game planning. He's trying to find players. He is looking at other neg lists to see, or other practice rosters to see if there's any movement he needs or changes to the roster. He's dealing with injured lists and all kinds of things, which is uncharted territory as well in a lot of ways for Dave Dickinson, although he's worked together with John Huffnagel for years in that regard.
The one thing is keeping his players focused and keeping their attention, and with the way the West has sort of unraveled this year, these guys know they're still very much in the mix, so that should not be a problem. Short kick return once again just shy of the 50. Try to keep that one away from Mario Alford, I would think.
I think that might be the strategy, although it's about the same result. A shorter kick. Wachi takes it to almost midfield.
Once again, starting here on just the 49-yard line, so Calgary's defense, a lot asked of them so far, with 3 straight drives starting right around here on the field for the Riders. Harris, a perfect 5 for 5 here in the opening quarter. Armstead pressured in the backfield and forced out of bounds at the 50. Judge all over him, nowhere to go.
Cameron Judge played the play here. He got the snap count or something. There was some kind of pre-snap tell for number 4. He just shoots the A-gap. That's between the center and the guard, and he's in the backfield, and Rock Armstead says, I'm just going to try and get the second down here. In the backfield immediately. He did a good job just get back to basically the line of scrimmage or get a yard.
Yeah, actually got a yard out of it. 2nd and 9 for Harris. 3 options out. Short side of the field. That's where he looks. That's where he throws. And that is caught at midfield. Won't be enough for the first down. Duncan Busby has his 2nd catch of the ball game. And that'll do it for the opening quarter. I think it's time to settle in on a Friday night, folks. We've got a good one brewing here in Calgary. 2 huge points up for grabs between the Roughriders and the Stampeders. The Riders leading the Stampeders 10-9. We talked about how big this game is, and it's got that feel to the first quarter, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. You can tell statistically how close it was in the first quarter. We've got a 1-point game. One big play from Tommy Stevens in short yardage with 2 good blocks from receivers to get that touchdown, long-range touchdown, 69-yarder. But then an answer from Trevor Harris and the Saskatchewan offense. We have a 1-point game in the first quarter, a game that is crucial to both these teams.
Well, it's the first of 2 huge games in the West this weekend, with Edmonton and Winnipeg tomorrow up the highway at Commonwealth. 2 huge points on the line in that one as well. Korshak kicks this away. It'll be taken on the far side by Eccles, a 44-yard kick. Tries to reverse it. Can he get a block to open things up? Not going to happen. He's wrapped up by Jackson Ford.
That's a good tackle in the open field by Jackson Ford, back up free safety, because I think Eccles, if he gets past Ford here, number 17, he's got a couple of blockers on the wall on the outside. He misses that tackle, he might get there.
Second-year man out of Regina. Eccles returning a bit here. Cole Tucker, who'd been back there with Peyton Logan, not in the lineup. So Eccles will get that roll. Empty backfield here for Mayer. 3 to the left, 3 to the right. Riders only send 4. Mayer still in trouble, taken down. A flag on the play as well. Baldonado. Be his first sack of the season.
Illegal block, ends to the face, Calgary number 54. That penalty is declined, 2nd down.
Yeah, that'll be declined by Corey Mace, because he'll take the play and go to 2nd and long. There's Baldonado, his first start. He's been in the rotation, and he has earned his way to the starting lineup. Just great hands to knock down Deontay Demaray's hands so he can't get engaged in pass pro.
A loss of 8 backs them up into the end zone. They'll get it out to Philpott. Philpott back to beyond the 10, no further. And Calgary will be forced to kick it away with their second 2 and out of the ball game.
Yeah, kick it away with their punter standing in the end zone. Cody Grace is going to, and I'm sure they're going to kick it. You don't see very often a team give up the safety for field position with the change in the rule a few years back.
That's one of the scariest sights in the league, though, when Mario Alford's standing on his own 50.
No question.
Waiting to return this. And Grace will kick it away from just outside his own end zone. It's a good kick. Backs Alford up. 60-yard punt. Alford takes it at the 40. And he cannot find anywhere to go. So best case scenario there for the Calgary Stampeders on a beautiful Friday night in Calgary. Welcome back to McMahon. We're going to flash it back a little bit. It's such a weird storyline. But the last time the Riders won post-Labor Day, and dial it back to November 13th, 2021, against Edmonton. It's been that long since.
Yeah, just crazy stat to think about it. You know, I mean, new regime, new coaching staff.
Armstead on the carry. Nice move back inside. Decent pickup on first down. Here's Corey Mace on the weird post-Labor Day struggles.
Yeah, it's a unique statistic. You know, I didn't hear anything about it until I got the job, and people just said, make sure you win a game after Labor. I said, oh, that's the standard, that's it. But now that we're in this situation, hey, I get it. So I've got no clue, you know, prior to my time being here, but you know, certainly I can identify the things that we need to work on to make sure we win a game, regardless of where it is within the season schedule.
0-14 post-Labor Day. That one should have been intercepted by DeMario Houston. Oh, he will want that back. Would have been number 5 on the season for Houston.
Yeah, Demario Houston had a crack at that, and adding to his total, there he is sitting on this. I think he's breaking downhill here on Keyshawn Johnson, but looks at the receiver for a split second as if he's going to set up to make a tackle, and the ball hit him right on the 6.
Second 2 and out of the game for the Riders. Korczak set to let her fly from the 45. That'll be taken cleanly by Logan. And Logan is tracked down just outside the 20. As we wrap up a Friday night football doubleheader, let's set the stage for a huge one tomorrow as well. Cody Fajardo, the Montreal Alouettes. Drew Brown and the Red Blacks will get us started. And then we will join you up the road here in Alberta for Zach Collaros and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers going up against Trey Ford, getting the ball back for the Elks. Cannot wait to settle in to a full day as tomorrow the Ford brothers going head to head.
Tyrell versus Trey.
Tyrell is having a sensational season. Here's Mayer on the run to his right. Gets it to Reggie Begelton. 66th game in a row for Reggie with a catch. And he takes it out beyond the 25.
Just been so solid. On pace for another 1,000-yard season. In fact, could get to 1,200. Been targeted over 100 times. Really has been the positive light in that Calgary offense that has struggled at times throughout the season, especially through this 5-game winless streak. Do have the 1 tie in the last 5, but 4 losses. But I tell you what, Reggie Begelton's done his thing.
Receivers for the Stampeders have 3 100-yard games this year. He's got all 3 of them. Mr. Reliable strikes again for Calgary. 2nd and 5. There, hands it off to Mills. Mills runs into Thurman, tries to push it ahead out beyond the 30, picked up 3, and that'll bring up 3rd down, and looks like 2.
Yeah, backed up in your own end in a 1-point game. I don't think there's any question that Dave Dickinson will punt the ball away here.
Dedrick Mills has been contained so far in this ball game, just 10 yards on 3 rushing attempts against the Saskatchewan defense that comes in to this game tonight with the best rushing defense in the entire league.
Yeah, so you wonder, is Dave Dickinson going to stick with the run, knowing that stat and knowing
the Riders also give up almost 300 passing yards a game, so it's a defense that has and can be passed upon. Another 60-yard kick, all for near side. There's a flag as he's going to stretch it to the near side of the field, cuts it back up. I think this is coming back. Another flag, and he finally goes down just inside the 40.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Every time, bro.
Trevor Harris trying to end this 2-month-long losing streak for the Riders. Well, here's a look at the Riders season so far. What a start for a first-year head coach. Had to be loving it, but things have fallen apart since.
Yeah, look at the 0-6-1 record. You know, after that great start at 5-1, and you see the points per game drops. Their offensive line got banged up. Not to give the Riders any excuses for the change. Every team in the West this year has gone through a losing skid, and that's why we have the logjam we have in the West.
Harris will start it on the ground to the newcomer. And Armstead pushes it ahead, right up the middle.
And again, that's one of the things that has been missing in the Saskatchewan lineup. They are the worst running team in the league coming into this game tonight. They are averaging just under 80 yards per game. That's 9th in the CFL. Again, not necessarily Frankie Hickson's fault, but the changes in the offensive line has been a factor. Calling it consistently also, that's on Coach Mueller.
Stampeders do give up the most yards in the league on the ground, so they'll go there again. But this will not be enough.
So far in this game, you know, quarter and a half, I haven't seen Rock Armstead really make a glaring mistake from a schematic point of view. I mean, it looks like he's got the playbook, a good handle on it anyway. Haven't seen him go the wrong direction or anything like that on a handoff.
Well, he already has 8 carries in this game, so they're not worried about giving him the ball because he just joined this week. 3rd consecutive 2-and-out. This time, of course, that kicking from shadows in their own uprights. Logan runs under this right at midfield, takes it at the 50, a 42-yard kick. Brought back. Logan tripped up and taken down. Claire Hanna with some more on Jake Mayer when we return to McMahon in Calgary. Well, it's been an interesting couple of weeks for Jake Mayer. That's his center, Sean McEwen, who he leans on for support. For more on that, let's send it down to Claire Hanna.
Yeah, and Dustin, you say interesting. He says it's been a frustrating few weeks. In fact, a couple weeks ago, he was benched, and he hasn't led the Stampeders to a win since August 4th. So I asked him, who does he use as a sounding board when he needs to get a little bit of confidence? Well, he said, I go to my center, Sean McEwen, who's seen a little bit of everything in this league. He's been playing in the CFL for 8 years. He's won championships, but he's also played with one of the greatest quarterbacks in Ricky Ray. And Mayer told me that McEwen said Ricky Ray was really himself. He didn't have to be performative. He was never extra. People are going to gravitate towards you if you're just authentic. So Mayer has taken that advice to heart and told me, I'm just going to be myself. I'm just going to be Jake. Guys.
Got away with one there. I think that was a lateral, and that went through the hands, I think, of Reggie Bagleton. And yeah, we talked to Jake about him working with Sean McEwen up front. Look at this. I think this is a lateral. It looked like it when it happened live, and if Fields gets to that, it's Saskatchewan ball.
Well, it ended up being a loss of 9 on the play, so 2nd and long again for Calgary. 4 options, wide side right for Jake. That's where he goes. Marco Michel has it, but he can't get away. The tackle is made by DeMarcus Fields.
But yeah, we've asked Jake in the past about, you know, working with Sean McEwen. They have to, you know, those centers have to make the calls up front. We asked him, how much do you communicate with your center and making the calls, picking up blitzes? He said, I never have to correct him. I never have to talk to him about it. He is bang on every single time, making the right decision, the right call, making sure the guys on the O-line are blocking the right people, so that the protection on blitzes or stunts is taken care of.
Cody Grace booms it away from the 48. Alford watches it bounce, a one-hopper into his arms. And he has nowhere to go. 46-yard kick, short return. Tights in on the tackle. Trevor Harris, 6 of 7 so far in this game. Started hot, a few 2-and-outs, a couple of carries for Armstead. See if Trevor can get things going again here.
Well, the switch in field position really happened on a penalty on a return for Saskatchewan. Yep. Then they got a 2-and-out, kicked it to Calgary. They get it at midfield. They got a 2-and-out. So the defense for Saskatchewan did their part. But this field position advantage for Calgary now is because of that penalty on a return.
Sutter their own 11. Harris from the pocket, down the field, just outside the 30, still pushing ahead. Eventually, Alway finishes it off. Keyshawn Johnson, 2nd catch of the game.
You're going to love this. Watch Trevor Harris, the veteran quarterback, the Ricky Ray-like quarterback. Stop it there. Look at him. Progression 1 there, progression 2 here, backside. If it doesn't look good on all of those, he goes right through his progressions and then right to the backside dig route. 24-yard gain. That's Ricky Ray-like.
Ricky was pretty good, wasn't he?
Well, he worked with him. Whitmere and McEwen were talking about it.
And off Armstead, one of his best carries of the game. He takes it out beyond the 40. His 9th touch of the ball game.
Well, coming into this week, Brock Armstead, even though he was unemployed until the Riders called him because of the decision in Ottawa, was 4th in the league rushing the ball.
Almost 1,000 total yards on the ground and in the air, so certainly a weapon for Mark Mueller. Released by Ottawa on September 3rd. Finds himself in Rider green and white here. 2nd and 4 from the 41. Armstead out into the flat to the left to Harris. He looks in that direction. Throws over the middle. Spin move by Johnson has them close to a first down. Looks like it'll be marked just shy. Alway and Judge there to stop him short.
Yeah, I think this might be close enough, though, because close enough for Corey Mace to maybe go ahead and go for it on 3rd down.
Patterson is coming out.
Yeah, I mean, that spin move there got the extra 2 to make it close enough. Corey Mace is going to go for it.
Patterson already has a short yardage touchdown in this game. We'll line up 3rd and 1 from the Rider 44. It would be a huge stop for the Stampeders defense, but Patterson has other ideas. That's a first down for the Riders.
You know, that first push by the Calgary D-line looked like it stopped Patterson, but he kept driving his legs. Watch his legs. He keeps driving. Drive. Keep pushing. Now he's got it. He didn't have it initially. Corey Mason, oh, okay. A couple of extra grays on that beard.
You probably don't breathe for about 5 seconds there, right?
Exactly.
Exhale.
Good
Reset.
Effort. Good effort on short yardage by Shea Patterson.
Riders will work from their own 46. Harris, pressure coming, gets it away. Down the field, Keyshawn Johnson's got it. He'll take it to the 30, spins it back, gets the block. Oh, and what a block it was! A flag on the play for the block, I believe. MLS does not like it. That was one of the biggest downfield blocks we've seen in years. Wow.
You can't come back towards your own line of scrimmage.
Major foul. Unnecessary roughness, blindside block. Saskatchewan number 19, 15-yard penalty, and a first down for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, this is after the catch, so it'll be assessed here, but it's a big hit. This used to be legal, but a receiver can't come back towards his own line of scrimmage and take this basically blind shot on a defender trying to make a tackle. That change was made, I'm not sure how many years ago, but it was made a few years ago. Can't come back towards your own line.
No matter if it's just a hit in the chest, it's just
no, it doesn't matter the target area. You can't come back and hit. And I think Corey Mace is arguing that he kind of moved laterally, not back towards his own line of scrimmage.
Yeah, like he was coming across as opposed to Mario Houston is still down and not surprised by this. It was a huge,
well, it used
huge
to be totally legal, and it used to be, we used to call them decleaters because it knocked you right off your cleats. You couldn't see it coming, and but it's, you know, it's applied to running plays too. If a running back gets outside and is run down the field and the receiver comes back towards his own line of scrimmage, you can't take out a defender trying to make the tackle.
Mario Houston is now sitting up, still being looked at by the athletic therapists of the Calgary Stampeders, and now he'll be lifted to his feet. That'll knock the wind out of him. So after the catch and then the penalty, the ball will be placed on the Calgary 44. So a total net of 23 yards, catch and penalty.
First down Riders, and Tyler Richardson will come in for Demario Houston and play the short side corner spot.
Harris is 9 of 10 for 141 yards. On the ground again. Brock Armstead lunging ahead. And he's making an impact in his debut with the Riders. We hit 3 minutes in the first half, and McMahon.
Fantastic halftime coming your way. Tommy Stevens with the 69-yard. Are you guys having your own independent conversation?
We were.
I am trying to talk to the people of our country right now.
Tommy Stevens.
Oh, good.
We're
You
talking about
listened.
his run. Yeah, we were.
Those guys need to start paying attention.
Yeah,
I'll
they
say
do.
it. I mean,
They do.
Come on. 2nd and 2. Huge burst. Armstead again takes it down, stays on his feet to the 10. Look at him go all the way down to the 2 before they stop him. What a burst by Rock Armstead. 34 yards right up the heart of that Calgary defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Great block right at the point of attack in the B gap. That's between guard and tackle. It gets a kick-out block by Trayvon Tate. It's coming off this side. There's Tate, that right tackle. He's going to get on his man, big on big. Jones on a down block, and then just great feet by Rock Armstead in the linebacking core and secondary, and he's leaving a wake of red tacklers behind him.
What a hole for Armstead to bust through. 1st and goal from the Calgary 2. They're not going to mess around. Patterson into the game. Already has one rushing touchdown. They're going to stretch him out to the left, and he walks in untouched. Touchdown, Riders! Patterson's got 2.
Big question coming into this one in Saskatchewan was how would the O-line fare? How would this kind of makeshift O-line? A lot of changes up front. Philip Blake out, Ryan Sevier out, Zach Fry out, Noah Zur in his 2nd start at left guard, Nick Jones in his 2nd start at right guard. How would they fare in this game? So far, so good. They're opening up some holes for Rock Armstead, and pretty good play down there on short yardage.
Armstead is already at 86 yards on the ground. Harris is 9 of 10 for 141. Lawler sneaks that one through, and the lead is 8 points after an 8-play, 99-yard drive.
Well, Shea Patterson decides to take it wide here. Not sure if he saw something on the last play. Gets a block on the kick out by Sam MLS, but here let's go back to the big play by Armstead and show you the block down here by Nick Jones. There's Nick Jones. He's going to get the block down. Go ahead and run it. Stop it there. Nice block on the inside. That takes out Mike Alway. Big on the outside, and look at the run lane for Armstead. Then after that, now he's in the linebacking core and in the secondary. Keep the feet moving. Nice sidestep there. Guy's trying to fight and pull the ball out. He secures the football right down inside the 5.
I honestly think I could have drove my rental car through that hole.
I saw your rental car. It's tiny.
Yeah, I think I can pick it up, but I'm not. You know, usually say you can drive a truck. I honestly think the hole that they open up there, that rental car I have could have fit through there. Impressive work. Taken at the 20 by Logan. Returned out to about the 35 with less than 2 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. Now some pushing and shoving on the far sidelines. I don't see any flags just yet. Looks like, oh, there's one. I spoke too soon, right as I said it. A late flag comes into the mix.
Oh, real sense of urgency time for Calgary Stampeders offensively.
There are 2 misconduct fouls after the play. Calgary 38, Saskatchewan 41. First down.
Owachi for the Riders, Konar for the Stampeders. What do you thought of Jake so far tonight? 7 of 10, 51 yards for Jake Mayer.
Yeah, I mean, really hasn't been able to push the ball down the field. doesn't really have the time to do it as of yet. Couple throws to Bagleton.
That drop by Barnes, too.
Yeah, that was a biggie early on in the first quarter.
Start here on their own 36. Philpott's got it. He turns it upfield for a first down for the Stampeders, and this drive starts with a real nice play.
Thought one of his best games of the year was last week against a very good Montreal defense. Did not throw an interception. Over 200 yards passing in that game and a touchdown.
There, backpedaling, dumps it off. Peyton Logan has it in open space. Takes it out to the 50. Maybe a yard on the play.
Maury Henderson, as we mentioned, playing that short side halfback spot for Roland Milligan. Roland Milligan just having an outstanding season. And when you think about his numbers, I mean, a guy that is probably going to be the nominee. We'll see what happens the rest of the way for not only outstanding defensive player for the Riders, but maybe MOP.
Make a case for that. I think that's fair. 2nd and 9. Mayer, pressure, dumps it off to Logan. Logan trying to find some space, gets to midfield, pushing ahead, but will be stopped short. Got about 6 yards. Mayer getting creative and finding a way to get that ball to his running back.
Yeah, this is what I mean about Jake Mayer's first half. I mean, he doesn't have much time. You know, when we showed you Trevor Harris going through his progressions, left side, right down the middle, back to the back side of the formation, he hasn't had time to do that. So quick decisions from Jake Mayer. That was a quick one just to get what he could there. Not enough, though. They're going to have to kick the ball.
Yeah, 3 yards still to go. Not going to risk it here. Late in the half. Hammered far side away from Mario Alford. Taken there by Bain. Bain knocked out of bounds. Shy of the 20. Halftime coming up with Kate and the panel. Best of luck to Kate. Keeping these guys on track. Lots to discuss from that first game earlier today. What a win for the Ticats. Simply had to have it. Owned the Argos this year. It's the rest of the league that became a bit of a problem. Well, they keep their hopes alive. Well, these teams trying to do the same with the big 2 points here tonight under the lights at McMahon. Friday night football. 1st and 10 for the Riders. On their own 18, 3 options out to the left for Harris. He's going to hand it off to Armstead again. Made a great move, and he's got a first down. That'll almost be 100 yards in the first half for Armstead.
Another nice block by Nick Jones. Doesn't have a big guy in front of him, so he has a chance to go to the second level. It ends up being a big guy in Julian Hauser, but it's a second level block. Now he's got his hands on Hauser, who played off the line of scrimmage. So that right side getting it done. Trayvon Tate and Nick Jones.
Harris throwing here out to Keyshawn Johnson, and Johnson breaks a tackle, gets a block up the far side, and eventually Alway will wrap him up, but the Riders moving the ball in big chunks here late in the second quarter.
Well, once you get that run established, now a little play action gives you an extra second. Again, remember, Demario Houston has not returned to the lineup, so they're going after Tyler Richardson on that short side.
18 yards to Johnson. He's got 5 catches in this game already for 74 yards, so his key contributions continue. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Harris down the field, over the middle. What a pass, what a catch. Schaefer Baker's got it. Stays on his feet, brings it to the near side of the field, and eventually is taken down, but they are moving the ball quickly here. No time to waste.
You have got to have confidence. You have got to know that you can make this throw. This is a gutsy throw. Watch Micah Always drop here, number 7, and how Trevor Harris threads the needle to get it to Schaefer Baker.
Wow. Pressure this time from Calgary. Harris lays it out. Schaefer Baker hauls it in, working against Kobe Williams, but the bigger man comes down with the ball.
Back-to-back throws to 89. getting him involved. First of all, in that tight window dig throw, and now they go the exact same guy, but to the out this time. Keep the secondary guessing.
Baker was targeted 8 times in the Banjo Bowl, caught 6 of them for 120 yards. He has 2 100-yard games on the season, and he's got 48 yards here tonight. Harris is already at 200. The Riders edge of the red zone here. Harris under pressure, takes off at the middle. He's got some room. Harris finally bumped down by Judge. Harris was thinking end zone, wasn't he?
Well, it looked like at the initial part when he broke the line of scrimmage that he might be looking to find exactly when he was going to hook slide. I mean, the quarterbacks have to do this so that the defender isn't too late. He knows that, but then no, he just thought, you know, maybe I can get there.
Trying to finish this drive on the ground, broke a tackle towards the end zone, stopped just shy. Armstead down at the 1. He's over 100 yards on the ground in the first half.
That's what's been missing in this Saskatchewan offensive attack. A consistent, solid run game.
Trevor Harris stays in on the short yardage, pushing it ahead, looking towards the end zone. Did he get there?
We missed it the whole game.
A long wait. And they will now single touchdown for the Riders. Patterson had a couple. Harris gets one here with just a second left on the clock.
Wow, that's right down to getting it across that plane. He reaches through there. That's one of the longest waits until a touchdown is signaled by the officials. But I think that first replay showed that the ball had crossed the plane.
That's how you leave. How you do that shit, baby. Keep going. Don't stop.
So Trevor Harris pushes it ahead.
Big time balance in this offense in this first half for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, 200 yards through the air and 104 just with Armstead on the ground. So over 300 yards of offense for the Riders. This was a 7-play, 92-yard drive that took just 71 seconds. And just like that, the Riders have opened up a 15-point lead in a critical game here against the Stampeders.
I love you, man. You're a beast. He and Schaefer Baker, the best in the world, baby. We live. Just the pebbles.
Harris is 12 of 13 for 200 yards. This has been a near perfect first half for Trevor Harris.
Well, that throw that you saw to Schaefer Baker on that last drive, that's a world-class throw. To fit it in that window on time as Schaefer Baker's coming out of his break between 2 very active linebackers in Cameron Judge and Mike Howard. Just enough to get it over his fingertips. Let's take one more look at that throw from Trevor Harris's perspective. You got Cam Judge and Mike Alway, and you got to thread the needle. Look at that, inches away from Alway's fingers, right on time to Schaefer Baker. That was a second down conversion as well.
This will just be a short kick as time will expire. And the Riders, having not won in just over 2 months, are in a pretty good spot right here.
Yeah, I really think the difference tonight has been the run game. First, Coach Mueller has been consistent with it, and Rock Armstead, 4th in the league as an Ottawa Red Black, rushing the football coming into this game tonight. New Jersey, new team. Same results for Armstead as far as when he gets the ball in his hands. He has been dynamic, over 100 yards in the first half.
Yeah, they've been feeding him 13 carries, 104 yards, and he stands by with Claire Hannah.
Rock you've been with the Riders for less than a week. You already have 100 yards just in the first half, over 100 yards. Just how have you picked up this offense so fast?
Man, having guys like that, man, everybody over here is happy to be a part of this organization. And, you know, I'm just blessed. I want to thank God, you know what I'm saying? I put a lot of work in. I've been through a lot of adversity, and I never letting anything faze me. I've been here 4 days, and, you know, they came and brought me in, open arms, and I'm just doing my part.
What have the Riders asked from you? What do they want from you this season?
They want me to be myself, and there's nothing else. Just be who I've been and just control myself. And just them allowing me to be myself, them allowing and just understanding it's really genuine, just makes this a lot easier.
Thank you, Rock.
Thank you.
All right, Kate, back to you guys.
Claire back inside the studio alongside Jim Barker, Davis Sanchez, Milt Stiegel, and what a start for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And yes, their newest member, Rock Armstead, making immediate impact. Before this game began, too, we actually looked at one another and we thought, yeah, you know what, he's going to be great. And we saw him with some great performances in Ottawa, but they did let him go. And now with this run game in Saskatchewan, AJ, how he's been hurt this season, I mean, they need this, but they just need Rock to be dialed in, Milt.
Just be Rock. Just go out there and play football. All the other antics, they don't need that. And there's a reason why he's not in Ottawa. It's not because of his play on the field. It was his action after his play on the field, because this guy's a special player. I mean, when he got cut from Ottawa, he was a fourth leading rusher in the CFL, so the guy can play. If he just allows his play to play, he's going to be one of the top running backs in this league, but it's just his stuff, that his mouth and his actions. He controls that. Saskatchewan Roughriders found something, because this has been the problem with this team. They have not been able to run the ball. And this guy, Rock Armstead, is special. You talk to anybody in Ottawa, I guarantee you talk to anybody in Saskatchewan right now, and they'll say, yes, we want this guy as our running back, but he has to control his emotions, his actions. And if he can do that, he can really help this team out.
Well, there's no doubt, and he helps Trevor Harris out. Shoot, he comes into the backfield. Trevor Harris goes 12 of 13, 200 yards. He's throwing dimes all over the field. When you got a guy like that back there, you know, Pat Perlis, who was the offensive line coach in Ottawa, thought this guy was one of the best pass-protecting running backs, NFL, it doesn't matter. And when you got that kind of a protector there, it gives you a comfort level in the pocket. And you watch Trevor here, he's just playing with great confidence. He sits in the pocket, no rush. He's giving guys balls they can catch, and his receivers are doing a nice job for him. So, again, that addition helps more than just the running game and controlling the ball. It helps the quarterback, and it helps him. We talked about it before the game. He needs to play big in this big game, and he's doing just that. He's making the throws he needs to make, and he's putting them in position to win this football game.
Yeah, similar to what you told me when you were my GM and coach in Calgary. Just shut my mouth and try to just do what I do.
You still haven't listened, though, huh? You still
And we're still here together today.
I can't remember where I sent you, but
no, it's why I only lasted a year. Let's talk about people that matter. Keyshawn Johnson, look what he was doing in that play in the first half, the big play down the sideline. Talk about Trevor and what he's doing. He's got playmakers. Keyshawn is a great young rookie. This play right here, you see the cornerback here this play. Often the corner is looking at number 2, and his read is, if 2 comes out, I can come off. But usually when that coverage is being played, whatever form that is, the safety rolls over top or the halfback's over top. DeMar Houston that time, nobody rolled over the top. So either he jumped that route or there's a miscommunication. Then all of a sudden this happens. Those hits were common. That was, that's going to be a highlight on SportsCenter, not too many years ago. Now that's illegal. And again, if you're going sideways, I think you're allowed to make that hit. You just can't peel backwards. But Keyshawn Johnson has become, one of those explosive playmakers for Trevor. Trevor gets the ball out quick. So to have someone that has great yak and can make plays after the catch is key, and he was big time in the first half.
You know what? I know we're early into Week 16. We've seen some great football so far. This has been fantastic. And you know what? Right now for Rider fans, it's pretty nice watching this team currently up 24-9 coming up after the break. Paul Lapolice standing by with more on Trey Ford. doubleheader was absolutely incredible. Toronto up by 1, and it is Mark Leggio who kicks home the game winner, a 48-yarder. The Tiger Cats have won 3 straight games. The Boveralls, they live. Bo Levi Mitchell was great. 33-31, your final. And then it's another doubleheader coming up tomorrow. How good is this weekend in the CFL? Alouettes and the Red Blacks, a win-in-your-in situation for the Red Blacks. They win at home, which they're perfect at so far. That means they do have the tie. You can see that CTV, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. And then it all wraps up with the Battle of the Brothers. Winnipeg taking on the Elks. And with more on Trey Ford, it's Paul LaPolice.
Biggest thing I am looking forward to is the return of Trey Ford. Played Winnipeg twice, 0-2 against them, only 1 touchdown. But here's the stats, been crazy for him. In 26 times with the football, he's got 10 touchdowns. So he's really great this season, putting the ball in the end zone. What does this great Winnipeg defense have to do against him? A couple of things they have to be prepared for is obviously his mobility. You have to be able to be under control. If you're going to blitz off the edge, make sure you keep contained. TJ Lee here loses contain, then there's a big shot downfield. He's going to create explosive plays if you do not tackle him. Let's go back to containing. If you're a defensive lineman here, Malik Carney misses this. And then now, what does he do? He rushes for a 25-yard gain. You got to contain his legs, vision. So Winnipeg doesn't do this a lot. They don't spot drop and have people looking at Trey to make sure that when he starts to scramble, he can go. They do more of just running and covering receivers. So I expect them, Winnipeg, to have a spy. They'll rush 3, drop somebody out to watch him all game. And when he tries to scramble, he will go. But what I would say for Winnipeg, really important for Winnipeg, is they're going to have to get some Brady ball going. Certainly, their 5 wins, they've got 10 more minutes time of possession than their opponents. Get Brady the ball. Make sure Zach can hand the ball off to him. Get a bunch of plays. Keep Trey Ford on the sideline. Don't let him get involved. Looking forward to this game tomorrow. Should be a great one. Kate.
Lapo, we are looking forward to it as well, and all we know is it better live up to the expectations and the games today so far. That Hamilton-Toronto game, my goodness, and so far, good news for Rider fans. Currently up 24-9.
Big points on the line here between the Riders and Stampeders. Riders leading 24-9 at the half. Calgary's points coming from a 69-yard touchdown run by Tommy Stevens, who stands by with Claire Hanna.
Tommy, you guys got out to a great start. You get a touchdown. How did you find the end zone?
That was good. We blocked up the assignment well. We looked at a lot of things throughout the week and tried to give us the best chance at making a big play, and we executed. It was a good start. We got a lot of work to do in the second half.
Yeah, you're in a bit of a hole right now. What was the message going into the second half?
Yeah, got to keep fighting. Got to keep fighting. We want a chance in the playoffs. Got to keep fighting. So it's going to be a big 30 minutes for us.
Thank you, Tom.
Yep, thank you.
Big 30 minutes for sure with what's on the line here for the Calgary Stampeders. They're going to have to find a way to get some offense going.
Yeah, they do, but they don't have to get drastically out of their game plan either. I mean, again, Dedrick Mills, how is he doing? Can they get him more involved?
Just 3 carries.
If Peyton Logan maybe can become part of the offense from the backfield, put together some first downs. 4 first downs in the first half is the issue. You got to stay on the field. Keep Trevor Harris off it.
4 first downs. If you end up with that in the second half, game over. You're not coming back tonight, and your rest of your season hangs in the balance. Riders have to be happy with their first half. Big lead on the road as they start the third quarter. Logan on the return. Broke 1 tackle, then ran into a wall of 3 more Riders. Nowhere to go. There's a look at Jake Mayer in the first half.
Completion percentage was there, but he had a couple of drops early for first downs in the first quarter, and then just couldn't keep the offense on the field. They're slinging it a lot more. You mentioned just a couple of touches, 3 touches in the running game for Dedrick Mills. He was banged up in the first quarter, late in that first quarter as well. Maybe one of the reasons they're going more to the air. But again, I think just sticking to the game plan. It's not a deficit that is too deep to overcome.
On the ground, up the middle, Logan, as both running backs were in there that time, and Logan carries it 15 yards for a first down.
Yeah, I mean, they take Montreal's defense, and Montreal, one of the best teams, not the best team in the league, to a tie last week. In that game, Dedrick Mills had 122 yards rushing, or 120 yards rushing. I mean, this is again balanced. One of the reasons for Sask's success in the first half was Rock Armstead.
May I also suggest Reggie Begelton? 1 catch, 1 target, 5 yards in the first half.
You may suggest that.
Try to get that guy going too. That one pops out of the hands of Philpott, who led the team with 4 catches in the first half. Could not make it 5 there.
Yeah, you know, some tough catches that you've got to try and make. I mean, Philpott's 3 receivers into the boundary. They've got Begelton sort of on a little check down. He had a chance at it. Amari Henderson gets his hand in there, so we'll give him credit for punching it out.
Really nice play from Henderson. 2nd and 10 for Jake Mayer from his own 49. Pressure coming as he gets that away and going up and hauling it in. What an excellent catch by Eccles. And now he is slow to get up. That'll be enough for a first down. There was some zip on that one, but he hauled it in.
These were, you know, a couple of the ones in the first half that Calgary didn't come up with. So yeah, this is a big one from Eccles. Hopefully he's okay. It was Amari Henderson that closed on it, but he exposed his ribs there to go up and get it.
Eccles last week caught all 5 balls thrown in his direction at 41 yards. Helmet is off, but he seems to be fine. Jake Mayer trying to put together a scoring drive here early in the second half. Riders will defend from their own 49. On the ground again. Mills spins away from 1 tackle, and he's got a first down. Best 2 carries of the ball game from their running backs coming here on this drive.
Remember we talked about Sean McEwen right there, the second arrow, not the first. Sean McEwen playing right over top of Micah Johnson. He's got to take that block first. That's Micah to plug any of the holes in the A gap there, and then the next one is the next level to get to Jameer Thurman. If you get to Thurman and you delay him from getting to Mills, you got a chance.
Mills with more yards on that carry than he had in the entire opening half. Mayer, pressure in his face, escapes on the run, points down the field, drops it in there to Begelton, who came back to help out his scrambling quarterback. And that's Reggie's 2nd catch of the ball game.
You know, early in the season, Jake Mayer was doing a lot more of this. We talked about it at the beginning of the year where Mayer had gone out. He changed his workout routine in the offseason, got down, lost a little weight, dropped a little bit of his weight, came back with quicker feet, felt like he could make these throws on the run. We saw a lot of it in the first 4 or 5 games and not as much lately, but big first down for Calgary.
20 yards to Begelton. First trip to the red zone today. Jake's been outstanding in the red zone.
He's great down here
so far this year. They'll get it out near side. First catch of the game for Rice and John.
Boy, he has been Jake Mayer when they have got to the red zone. The numbers are outstanding. Completion percentage at 75, and look at that. 12 touchdowns, not one interception when they're inside the 20.
No mistakes. Don't want to have to settle for 3 here.
There is the challenge for the Rider defense.
2nd and 5 for Mayer. 3 options out to his left. Has a ton of time. There's a couple of flags as he bounces around the pocket. Now he's going to get his. He throws. Ball pops out, laying there. This is a flag against the Riders, though.
Looked like there was some early movement. I don't think a Calgary O-lineman moved first. We'll see how they sort this out.
I think I saw what you saw, but there was no flag immediately.
Yeah, it was delayed.
And then it kind of came a little bit after the fact.
It was delayed, but it looked like the early movement in there in the D-line.
Defensive offside. Saskatchewan number 4. 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
Micah Johnson.
Well, you know, one thing I think Jake Mayer knew he saw the early movement, because that was probably going to be ruled a fumble.
Instead, it's 1st and goal from the Rider 8. Mayer empties out the backfield, dumps it over the middle, touchdown! He finds Clark Barnes, and the Stampeders offense has life early in the 3rd quarter.
Clearly at halftime, Dave Dickinson went to Jake Mayer. They talked about what they wanted to change for the second half offensively. How were they going to come out and attack the Rider defense? And clearly it's with more balance, a little bit of run that started this drive. It was Peyton Logan that got it going. Dedrick Mills with a good run. And then out of some of those play action looks, the passing game kicks in. Clark Barnes with his 3rd touchdown reception of the season.
Paredes knocks that through, and we have an 8-point ball game. A critical drive for Calgary, 76 yards on 8 plays. Ends up in the hands of Barnes, and he strolls into the end zone.
What a drive for Calgary. They needed it. They got some balance in with the run game. There's Dedrick Mills' best run of the night against a very good run defense in Saskatchewan. That was Jake Mayer getting out of the pocket. And then they finish off with Barnes. 3rd touchdown of the campaign. Big one. 8 plays, 76 yards for Jake Mayer.
Took about 4.5 minutes to establish their offense here in a critical second half for both teams, really. Alford takes it at the 13. And he finds some open space. Decent return. Get him out almost to the 35.
Great first half for Trevor Harris. 200 yards passing. He was 12 of 13 in the first half. Not the touchdown throw. They finished down at the goal line with short yardage or Rock Armstead, but this is textbook for Trevor Harris. And my favorite of the first half was that thread the needle to Schaefer Baker. Set up that touchdown right there.
Near perfect first half for Harris. This guy was pretty good as well. You get it back to Armstead again, and what a burst, takes it to the outside, and Stampeders are going to have to do something to slow down Rock Armstead.
Yeah, no question. I mean, that clearly they had to have talked about that at halftime. Coach Monson, the defensive coordinator, I'm sure reminded all of them, Mike Holloway, Cameron Judge. I mean, this front 7, you look at it and you look at their resumes and you look at it on paper, should be better against the run. They're ranked worst in the league coming in. 116 yards a game. Rock Armstead has a big second half. It's game over.
He's already at 112. Go back to him again. Only needed a couple, but he's got more. Takes it outside to towards the 50, just running him off tackle, and he's having his way.
The other thing we should mention is I'm seeing a lot of nice blocks by receivers in the run game too. Sam Emilus gets up there, he gets a block on Demario Houston, who's back in the game for Calgary. He left, but they are having all kinds of trouble with 29.
Harris calling for the play to come in a little bit quicker as that play clock ticks down. Gets it away just in time. Gets it to Schaefer Baker. Schaefer Baker turns it back up the field as the Riders continue to run it down the throats of the Stampeders.
You know who's having a big game is Nick Jones. You know, I've circled him a couple of times right now, and you take a look at another good block, big on big, as he gets his first man up front in Coatney, and then gets to the second level to get in front of Schaefer Baker for that run. We've seen him open up some nice holes in working with Trayvon Tate.
27-year-old, first year out of Mississippi State. 2nd and 3. Up
Another
the middle, Bertrand Houdon this time. And he's tripped up, or that would have been another 15 or 20 yards.
I mean, this is how you run block. Watch this block right here. I mean, Nick Jones again, pow, out of the hole, goodbye. I mean, not only opening it up with a nice block, but he's running them right out of the play. I think that was Coatney again. And look at that block. Unless Coatney had like some kind of stunt going on a inside sort of wedge move.
Almost looked like one of his legs gave out on him there.
Huge block.
Back to Armstead again, sidestepping his way ahead. Put them in a very comfortable second down. They're not even looking at the pass here. They're just continuing to run this ball. Trevor hasn't thrown one yet.
And so they should. I mean, Coach Mueller, until they stop it, keep doing it. Especially if you're getting 7-8 a crack. I mean, what's Armstead's average right now?
Well, he's already at 16 carries in this ball game. 2nd and 2. Back again, huge hole again. Loses the ball, bouncing around. Did he hop back on it? I think that's self-recovery there from Armstead. I'm sure his heart skipped a beat that time.
See Nick Jones, another good run. I'm guessing that he made something happen. There's a little bit of a block to the second level again. Getting up the field. Now Armstead's got to protect the football a little bit better.
Probably a little bit better. I don't know if I've seen many running backs sort of just lead with the ball just in their own head. Kind of do whatever he wants so far tonight, though. Now back. Bertrand Houdon this time giving Armstead a bit of a break. He'll come back in now, I believe. Sean Bain actually coming back out onto the field for a watch game.
Well, this is really the first, passing down of this drive for Trevor Harris. I mean, he's had such good success in the run game, and that first down run, getting 7 or 8 yards. His first sort of throwing down in the drive. So we'll see if he can convert here, but points anyway. I mean, in position for points after Jake Mayer's drive.
Harris has time downfield, staying on his feet, end zone touchdown. Kean Schaefer Baker bounces off the contact, takes it to the house, and the Riders answer back.
Stunt up front this time, and Coatney's going to come.
Major foul. Unnecessary roughness. Calgary roughing the passer, number 9. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say there was a stunt up front, and James Waters came around on that stunt, hit Trevor Harris a little bit late, but not before he delivers a strike to Schaefer Baker.
Lots of Riders fans in attendance at McMahon. Schaefer Baker loving that. And Arthur once again restores a 15-point lead. What a response from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. 8 plays, 77 yards in just over 5 minutes. Schaefer Baker to the end zone.
Let's take a look at some beautiful route running from Guelph product, Keon Schaefer Baker. Watch how he stutter steps here on Kobe Williams. Look at this stutter step, chop those feet, make it look like I'm going to run a curl, and then right back into the middle. Ball's on time. Late reaction from Dozier, who had dropped back in the safety spot. Touchdown.
Logan takes it in his end zone. And is stopped right around the 18. 3 touchdowns on the season for Schaefer Baker after putting up 120 yards in his last game. Schaefer Baker, one of a few guys who connected really well with Trevor Harris so far tonight. Keyshawn Johnson, Schaefer Baker, both with 5 catches.
How about that route run?
Yeah, pretty, isn't it?
Patience, down the field. Don't rush to that inside position. Just run your route. Beautiful.
Mayer dumps it off. Clark Barnes has it. Didn't have much room after making the catch.
You know, but to that point, though, that Rider drive was all running game until the throw to Schaefer Baker at the end of it. And I think Calgary's got to still have the same mindset. I mean, I know they go down again by 15, but a quarter and 4 minutes to play. They get that big drive to open this half with a long drive with the run game.
Well, 2 big runs from Logan and Mills.
Yep.
Now they're sitting here 2nd and 7, possibly a throwing situation again for Jake Mayer. It is. He's on the run. Out to his right. Looking down the field. And he's got a first down. Back to Barnes. Bagleton was right around there as well. But Barnes will haul it in and get the first down for the Stamps.
Yeah, their scramble drills got a little chaotic over there on that side because they had 2 receivers that ended up right next to each other. Again, Jake Mayer escapes here the pressure. You see both Barnes and Bagleton right next to each other. Look how many defenders that brings to that area, but Mayer found a way to get it in there.
And I believe that's Barnes who's down on the field. And you saw, as he was being tackled, he didn't put any weight on the one leg. He kind of hopped a couple of times. He's had three completions in a row from Jake Mayer. And we'll step away as they take a look at Clark Barnes at McMahon. Barnes gingerly to the sideline.
Tyson Middlemost will go and get a chance, get an opportunity here to play. Backup receiver. Cam Eccles went out too, but I believe he's in the huddle right now.
Well, it was a big first down catch for Barnes. Eccles is out there, yep. He left on that catch over the middle. Banged up his head a little bit. 1st and 10 from the Calgary 34. Dedrick Mills stands into the right of Jake Mayer. Now he'll flare out to the right. Mayer throws over the middle. He's got Eccles. Eccles breaks 1 tackle. Threw him back a little bit, though. Only got about half of what they needed. Probably just 4 yards on the play.
So far, this Rider defense, you know, you look at coming into the game without Roland Milligan, has really been their leader in the secondary. But credit to Amari Henderson for the way he's playing. You can get Roland Milligan back soon.
Henderson's got 5 tackles, actually tied for the 14 lead. They'll go to Mills. Find some space. He's got a first down. Not a bad idea. Dedrick Mills gets the job done.
Yeah, I talked to Dave Dickinson about Dedrick Mills, and you know he was missing for a while on the suspended list and some things to deal with. So he gets back last couple of games, and again,
back to Mills. Works his way right up the gut, stays on his feet. Here he goes, takes it down inside the 30, and eventually they trip him up. This is what Dickinson was telling us. He said prior to leaving, it was probably their MOP.
Yeah, he said probably their MOP, their best player, prior to him leaving, and he does a nice cutback here. Really nice cutback on C.J. Avery. Watch how Avery's going to go wide, and then he gets picked up and blocked in the hole, and away goes Mills. 38-yard gain for 26.
Stampeders in business from the Rider 27. Empty backfield here for Mayer. 3 to the left, 3 to the right. Dumps it off to Markin Michelle. Michelle's got nowhere to go. Took a loss on the play. Henderson, I believe, in on that tackle.
Corey Mays going with just 4-man pressure there and dropping off in zone. Jake Mayer recognized it quickly, threw it underneath, thought he could get, halfway to that first down, but good tackling by the Riders. And now he's in 2nd and long.
In 3rd down territory here anyway?
I don't think so. He
Still.
didn't know.
Field goal,
Take
cut
the
it to
points.
12.
Yeah, take the points.
Quarter
Got a
left.
quarter to play.
They need 11 here. Mayer starts with a look over the middle. That's where he's going to go. Some work left to be done by Philpott. And he'll take it down just outside the red zone.
Having said that,
they're going to leave the offense on the field.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to do it at 3rd and 3. 3rd and 4 almost.
There really wasn't much hesitation. Paredes was ready to go out. He didn't even get 5 feet off the sideline.
I'm not second guessing Coach Dickinson. I'm first guessing. I'm taking the 3 points here. I am. Even if they're successful.
3rd and 4. 3 options, wide side left. Riders going to bring a little bit of heat. Jake goes over the middle, and that's in there. Complete. Who else? Reggie Bagleton reels it in.
Corey Mays goes with pressure here to see if he can force a quick throw, force the wrong decision. That's Avery coming up. He's going on a blitz, little inside stunt there as well from Baldonado. They get it done to Bagleton.
That'll do it. 3 quarters in the books. Great 4th quarter still to come late on a Friday night. 4th quarter coming up in McMahon. Riders lead 31-16. They've got over 400 yards of offense, but Calgary's knocking on the door here right now.
Yeah, and hey, give credit to Dave Dickinson. He decided to go for it there on 3rd down. He gets it. And, we talked in the break there about the difference in points. It's still 2 possessions.
With the 12, if they just settled for 3, yes.
Exactly. So that's probably was part of his thinking. But again, with a quarter to go and how many possessions, probably what factored into it for Coach Dickinson was his defense is struggling stopping the Riders.
That's true.
And they're down in plus territory with 4 yards to go on 3rd down. Down by 2 scores. They got to keep this drive alive, make it 1 score if they possibly can. Finish it here to stay in this game because their defense is struggling getting a stop. It had to be part of the decision.
1st and goal from the Rider 8. Jake Mayer, 13 touchdowns inside the red zone so far this season. They'll hand it off, running into a wall of Rider defenders. Mills has nowhere to go, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Take a look at this. I think C.J. Rivas is involved. From the right of your screen, you see Jameer Thurman steps up, takes on a block. I think Rivas got there first, but it looked to me like Caleb Sanders at the middle of that defensive line on the rotation. He just kind of plugged the hole.
2nd and goal from the 8. Riders will send 5. Mayer gets it away over the middle. Touchdown. Guns it in there to Philpott. And the Stampeders are hanging around.
That's big. Coach Dickinson decided to go on 3rd and 4. He gets it done. Nice throw over the middle to Beggleton on that one. And this is outstanding concentration from Jalen Philpott, because the goalpost was a factor here. He comes from one side of the upright to the other side and has to maintain concentration, because you know on that route he would have lost sight of the ball for a split second and then had to find it again, but it was thrown so accurately.
Let's keep going.
Hard to miss it.
Another response from Calgary. 10 plays, 92 yards, 5 minutes and 45 seconds on that touchdown drive. Good chunk of it from Mills. Philpott has just his 2nd touchdown of the season, but this is a big one for the Stampeders. Well, Rock Armstead has been really good tonight. He was pretty good with Ottawa before being released on September 3rd. For more on him, let's send it down to Claire Hanna.
Yeah, Dustin, and they say there are 2 sides to every story. And when Rock Armstead was released by the Ottawa Redblacks a couple of weeks ago, people wondered why. This was the 4th leading rusher in the CFL. But it was head coach Bob Dice that said it was in the best interest of the team. Now, Armstead had been fined for verbal abuse. He'd been kicked out of a game with objectionable conduct. And so Corey Mace, before the Riders signed him, he told me he wanted to make his own judgments about Armstead. Well, Mace called people he trusted, did some digging into deep about the personality of Armstead, got enough information that he felt he was worth another shot. And of course, we've seen the yards he's put up here tonight, but the running back has only been with the Riders for a couple of days, but so far Mace says he's done a good job of locking into details of what it takes to play the position, and he's been pleased with what he's seen so far, guys.
Yeah, you can't really ask for much more from Armstead tonight.
Well, and Calgary saw him as a member of the Red Blacks, and he rushed for over 100 yards on their defense then. Over 100 yards again tonight. And yeah, you know that Corey Mace was going to do his due diligence to make sure he felt comfortable, and I'm sure they've had a good discussion, and what Mace, as Claire mentioned, what Mace expects out of Rock Armstead.
This drive starts in the 48 for the Riders. Armstead again broke a tackle, still going, and here he goes down to the 40, to the 30, and that's where he will step out. What a night for Rock Armstead. Welcome to the Riders.
Well, and this is what he brings on the field, and I think it was Milt at halftime talking about Armstead and saying, you know, if he can just keep it together when it comes to the extra stuff after the fact and after plays and stuff, he is a talent. I mean, those feet, his ability, his vision, his ability to make those jump cuts and those be able to sidestep tacklers is absolutely outstanding. I mean, and great in protection, pass protection.
39 yards for Armstead will get him a break on the sideline. Bertrand Hudon, who had a nice return to give him the good field position. He gets stuffed after a couple of yards. Armstead's at 178 yards in his Riders debut.
If you're Brent Monson right now and 29's back in the game, he's so tired after almost 200 yards so far tonight that he needs to get a couple plays off on the sideline. But I mean, you got to commit basically even maybe a secondary player or two, one of your DBs or two of your DBs to stop in the run. You got to get everybody up on the line of scrimmage and run blitz.
Calgary's offense has done their part in trying to get them back into this game, but the defense cannot stop the Riders. Harris stumbles ahead, and he will be taken down here, and they will have to settle for a field goal attempt.
But an important one, get it to 2 possessions.
Take the lead back up to 11.
And that's exactly why Trevor Harris doesn't take any chances with this play. I mean, this is the veteran making a great decision. He wants a double move on the outside. It wasn't there. Felt the pocket collapsing and just said, okay, we'll get it to 2 possessions. So get our kicker out there.
Armstead with 178 yards is the highest rushing total by a running back in the league this season. Lothar, 32 yards. It's good. Riders lead up to 11. Critical tilt in Calgary.
So your rental car is bigger than that one?
I don't know. I've never seen a car this tiny. Mayer, Mark and Michelle. Looks like a first down to me, and they give it to him. So Jake Mayer is now 22 of 26 for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And he still finds himself down 11.
Well, his defense needs to help him out, and Trevor Harris has scored points on 6 of his 9 drives. I mean, every time Calgary feels like they're climbing back into it, Trevor Harris says, whoa, 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 comes back with points of his own.
Dedrick Mills stands into the right of his quarterback. Mayer looking to throw here. Flushed out of the pocket on the run. Tripped as he throws, but he finds Mark and Michelle, who's popped out of bounds, but he's got a first down. Jake Mayer on the run finds Mark and Michelle, one of Jake's best plays of the night.
It really is, because he's on the run, and I think he's getting caught from behind here too. He's got someone on his legs. Now he's out in the open running the football, so if you're thinking about low hits or anything like that, we've had that conversation for a couple of weeks in Saskatchewan, but if you're thinking about that, he's out on the run, so he doesn't have the protection of the pocket, but a good throw on the run for Jake Mayer.
Good pressure there from Eric Black. 1st and 10 from the 49. This time they'll run at Mills, trying to push ahead. Leader will try to help him. Thurman, among others, in on the tackle. Adam O'Clair, Revis also there. But 5 yards for Mills, 2nd and 5 for Calgary.
You know that Corey Mace must feel comfortable being, this is the first time he's played Calgary as the head coach in Saskatchewan, and won 2 Grey Cup rings here, one as a player and one as a defensive line coach with the Stampeders organization.
Big 2nd down for Calgary. On the ground again, right up the middle and a little bit of room. Still going down inside the 20 to the 15 before they track down Phil Pott. A dual threat for the Stampeders. Strikes big time here in the 4th quarter.
Sean McEwen is just opening it up here. Watch McEwen get a nice block right here, and Phil Pott is gone. This is the A gap again between the center and the guard. And he sidesteps through there. Away he goes. I believe it was Jameer Thurman that was blocked. It's a little inside run. Don't see that very often. Nice block by McEwen.
Back in the red zone again for Jake Mayer. 4 options out to his wide side right. That's where he looks. That's where he'll throw. And he'll get it down to the 10. Reggie Begelton. 4th catch of the game for Begelton, and it's 2nd and manageable.
Just not going away, are they? Calgary Stampeders just keep battling back. We heard Tommy Stevens talk about it at halftime with Claire, that it's a big half for them. Know the importance of the game, and points matter. They only play each other twice this year, now and last game of the regular season. So points for and against will matter.
2 for 2 in the red zone already this evening. Mayer, pressure. Can he get away? He does. Now he's on the run, and he'll keep it. Jake Mayer down to the 5. Slides just shy of the end zone. Jake Mayer with some magic to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, he really kept those feet moving, and man was negotiating the pocket first, looking for a pass, but then he thought, okay, now I'm in trouble. Knew exactly where the marker was, and that's where he hook slid. He didn't slide until he had first down territory. Then he goes down. Protect himself against the hit.
It'll be 1st and goal from the Saskatchewan 3. Dedrick Mills stands in behind his quarterback. They'll give it to him. Mills is stopped. Atter just slightly beyond the original line of scrimmage. Might have got a yard.
Dave Dickinson going to go with short yardage, or is he going to leave the offense out there?
Well, I do not see Tommy Stevens coming on to the field just yet. If he gets to 3rd and 1, I'd have to think it's probably Tommy time. 8th play of this drive as Jake Maier looks to try to keep this comeback alive. Begelton and Mark and Michelle out to the left. Maier flags on the play, gives it to Mills, and he's in. Touchdown, Calgary. But as I mentioned, a couple of flags on the field for now.
Defensive offside. Saskatchewan number 90. That penalty's decline. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Well, if you can believe it, that's Dedrick Mills' first touchdown of the season.
Well, it's a big one for Calgary to stay in striking range, and Nakanu here is going to make the key block. Coker gets the down block. Nakanu inside. He gets help on a down block as well, and a good jump cut by Dedrick Mills for his first TD, and it's a big one. They're going to go for 2.
They will go for 2 to try and make it a 3-point game. Trailed by 15 at the half. Philpott now out to the left. Maier with pressure in his face, gets it away. It's batted down, but flags on both sides of the field. Looking over towards Middlemost, Marcus Sales is not happy.
Defensive offside, Saskatchewan number 1. Half the distance to the goal. We're going to replay the convert.
Marcus Sales looked like he was engaged with Tyson Middlemost on that slant route, and I thought that was the original flag, and so did he. He threw his hands up in the air and was upset because he was jamming well inside the 5-yard zone. It looked legal to me what he was doing, but the offside by Rivas is the call. Jake Maier gets another shot at it.
Just over 6 minutes to play. Mills to the left of Maier. Maier in trouble. Taken down by the Riders. C.J. Rivas and Baldonado both all over him. And the lead remains 5 in favor of the visitors. Jake Maier, and Rivas gets there to take him down.
Go back to that touchdown fight by Dedrick Mills, and this great cut to the B gap between guard and tackle. A little dance to keep it close and put the pressure back on the Saskatchewan offense.
It's a team thing, man. Congratulations to the offense and the offensive line, man.
Calgary had just 3 offensive touchdowns in their last 3 games. They've got 3 here in the second half, but they trail by 5. Mario Alford jumping around, working his way out beyond the 30, but no further.
I mentioned Corey Mays coming back to Calgary, and here's another guy who's getting acquainted again before the game with some of his good friends and former colleagues in Saskatchewan. Craig Dickinson now working for the Calgary Stampeders with his brother Dave. Of course, was the head coach in Saskatchewan last couple of years.
I saw him at halftime up here in the hallway. He's up in the booth. I just said, "Hi, coach. How's it going?" That's it. Nice guy. He was always great to deal with for us.
Absolutely. He's doing a lot of different things for the Stamps.
On the ground again. Why not? This is not surprising, as the Riders will run it right up the middle with Armstead, who we might start talking about a possible 200-yard game here for this guy.
Well, Brent Monson has an option here to bring Awe up, bring Cameron Judge up, and just try to cancel all the gaps. In other words, put a defender in the gaps, and if Trevor Harris goes play action, you leave your DBs in man-to-man, and you just say, hey, we're going to lean on the DBs to cover their guys down because we've got to stop the run. The Calgary Stampeders haven't been able to do it.
14 yards away from 200. They'll give it to him again, and this time they stop him. What a stop from the Stampeders defense. They pretty much had to have it, and they get it.
Well, now, I mean, it's short yardage, yes, but look, all the gaps, all the way up here. You're bringing down DBs. You're getting DBs close to the line of scrimmage. That's LaBrosse up there on the left side of your screen. Cam Judge can scrape, but they're trying to cancel the gap, put everyone on the line of scrimmage, including defensive halfback Kobe Williams. Get the stop on the run.
Korsak to kick it away. Peyton Logan is not back there. He got banged up a little bit earlier in the half. I believe Bentley Sanders is back to return this kick. Stands on his own 20. Almost blocked. Looked like it was deflected, but there's a flag for roughing the kicker. Oh, boy. How about this? Tyler Richardson.
Yeah, Tyler Richardson.
Wow.
Again, we've seen this, and you know, I know
contacting the kicker, Calgary number 35. This will be a 10-yard penalty, and it will result in a first down for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, the Calgary fans don't like it, but this is the rule. You can't hit the kicking leg or the plant foot of the punter, and it doesn't matter if you touch the ball or not, and he didn't anyway. So Tyler Richardson had to redirect himself. When you're going for a block, you have to go where the ball is, not where the kicker is. And so that means anticipating the 2.5 steps he takes towards the line of scrimmage as he's going to kick it and take the right angle. And Dave Dickinson knows the rule and knows Tyler Richardson was guilty.
Well, can this defense come up with another stop? 1st and 10. Harris incompletes. Looking for Emilus. Just missed him. Just the second incompletion in this ball game for Trevor Harris, who's only thrown the ball 16 times because the running game has been so efficient.
Yeah, and really the only bad throw from Trevor Harris.
Yeah, but the other one was almost intercepted, but Keyshawn Johnson sort of stopped on it, right?
Yeah, Keyshawn Johnson didn't go to that spot where he expected him to. That was just off the mark.
2nd and a huge 10 yards here. Stampeders, 4 on the defensive line. Everybody else will drop back. Harris dumps it off. Far side, Bain, first down, he's got it. First catch of the game against his former club. And Bain picks up a huge first down.
Yeah, I saw Sean Bain today in the hotel and asked him, I said, you know, you're due for a big player too. And he said he was so excited about this game, get a chance, get an opportunity. He waited till deep in the 4th, but that's a huge catch to get a new set of downs.
With 3 minutes, 17 seconds.
A huge 12 yards for Sean Bain. Calgary's called the timeout with 3:17 on the clock. Now that roughing the kicker penalty looms large for the Stampeders, trying to cling on to their faint playoff hopes.
Yeah, and their defense really has to make the stop now. I mean, even if they got, the time is not the issue. The field position is, and the chance to kick another field goal.
Field goal would push it to 8. Here's Harris, 1st and 10. And that's pushed ahead. Extra yards on the extra effort from Armstead again, and they're 2nd in a very manageable situation, a position they found themselves in quite often tonight.
A lot you can do in 2nd and 4.
That'll take us to the 3-minute warning. We've got an excellent finish on the way in Calgary. Don't go anywhere. Well, if you like CFL doubleheaders, I got great news for you. Alouettes and Red Blacks kick things off tomorrow on CTV. Make sure you join us for CTV, on CTV for that one. And then later on, the second half of the double dip, Zach Collaros and the Bombers, Trey Ford and the Elks against his twin brother, Tyrell Ford. Spent the bye week together in Banff. Now they're hated enemies once again. Join us tomorrow. And that's the Moon.
If you like run game, Winnipeg, Edmonton.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful move.
Big play here.
2nd and 4. Can the Stamps defense get a stop? They're going to bring a ton of heat. Harris gets it away. Keyshawn Johnson's got it, but he doesn't have the first. Ooh. Short. Maybe.
Well,
just short.
I'm not sure.
That's a pretty good mark.
Well, they're giving him forward progress. They're giving him forward progress on the slant, even though when he got hit, he fell backwards a half yard and then moved forward when he fell down, or went down. So you full blitz line, the line of scrimmage, as I mentioned a few plays ago. Brent Monson decides to just load it up. If they go with the run, they've canceled the gaps. If they don't, it's a full blitz. But Keyshawn Johnson with the extra effort is right there. First down.
Wow, are you kidding me? Just enough. And now 2:37 on the clock and a fresh set of downs for the Riders.
And even though it's a long one, though, field goal range for the Riders.
They are in field goal range. That would put them up by 8.
So does that change the play calling for Coach Mueller?
Harris hands it off. Armstead up the middle. Great pickup on first down once again. Armstead has put them in such a good spot on second down. It pretty much has opened up the entire playbook for about half the night here for Trevor Harris.
Yeah, the playbook is interesting, though, right now, because on this 2nd and 4 or 5, a long 4, and you run again.
Give it to him again, and he gets the 4 yards. He's got a 200-yard game on the ground.
And that
they do give it to him. Trying to push it ahead, will not get there.
No, but you know, play calling wise, you just can't risk throwing the football there. If it's tipped, it bounces somewhere.
And he's been so good at it.
Timeout, Calgary.
Exactly. All the success that Armstead has had on the run game. Too risky to try and throw it there. I think the call was bang on for Saskatchewan. If they don't get it, they kick a field goal, make it an 8-point game. So yes, it's one possession. However, Calgary needs 2 plays. They need to get it in the end zone, and then they need the 2-point conversion. Not a bad day at the office for 29.
Get yourself some rest.
On 2 days practice, learning a new playbook.
Best game of the year in the Canadian Football League.
And I didn't see one bust. Like, I mean, maybe there was that we didn't notice, but
197 yards on the ground for Armstead. Lothar, 40-yard field goal to make it an 8-point game. 75% on the season coming in to tonight. This is a big one. That is up, and he's got it. Never in doubt. Lothar comes up clutch. Riders on top, but Calgary still has a chance. Here's a look at what's on the line in just the wild west right now, and this playoff race is better than that old Will Smith movie. I can guarantee that. So here, I look. If Calgary can win this football game, and Edmonton, let's say Edmonton won, that would be ridiculous.
Well, but no one's eliminated here tonight. However, it puts Calgary really behind and in chase mode if they can't find a way to come back. Saskatchewan moves up. They can start thinking about fighting towards a home playoff game. You know, I mean, it is. I don't remember a year. I really don't remember a year where this deep into the season, the division was that tight and really anyone could move into home playoff or be eliminated completely.
Win for Winnipeg yesterday or tomorrow would give them a little bit of breathing room on the Lions. They have the tiebreaker in that situation as well. While they're set to kick this away, Sanders and Middlemost back to return for Calgary. Sanders takes it just inside the 15, bullies his way out just beyond the 30. And Jake Mayer will get the ball, 24 of 28, 2 touchdowns. He's been excellent here in the second half, and he needs to drive the field for a touchdown and then finish it with 2 more to force overtime.
Yeah, and that 193, most of that has been in the second half. Big second half, a couple of touchdown throws, keeping Calgary close. Does he have one more drive in him?
If this game gets to overtime and then ends in a tie, I'm not doing the Edmonton-Winnipeg game tomorrow. Out of protest. Too good a football game we got here tonight. 1st and 10 from the Calgary 32. Mayer over the middle. Markin Michel, not sure he was ready for it. Eccles had kind of crossed right in front of him, but he's able to hang on.
Yeah, he almost thought that it was Eccles that was the intended target. He's crossing in this way, and Eccles is underneath it. Oh, there it is.
There, quickly gets it away, almost intercepted. Oh, Mari Henderson was that close to sealing this one away.
He knew it was going to be the hot route, and he jumps it. Downhill, just jumps the route and can hang on. Playing in that spot for Roland Milligan. Playing a lot like Roland Milligan on that break.
He's had a good game, 6 tackles. That knockdown right there, 3rd and 7. This is pretty much it. Mayer needs 7 yards. Early movement and some flags on the play.
Who was first?
Seems pretty clear because there's no pointing. Well, a little bit of pointing now, but
Before the ball was snapped, defensive offside, Saskatchewan number 50. Timer, please reset the game clock to 1:24.
we're watching for Tommy Stevens now. It's 3rd and 1. We've been using him in this situation pretty much the entire year, but not right here with 1:24 on the clock. Interesting decision. He's been pretty good at it. He took a 69-yard touchdown on a 3rd and 1 earlier in the game. All right, they need a yard. Jake Mayer
in shotgun
remains in. He's in shotgun as Dedrick Mills to his right. Tommy Stevens watches on from the sideline. Mayer throwing over the middle, intercepted, taken away by Thurman, and he seals it away for the Riders defense.
Well, that's bizarre. That is absolutely bizarre.
Why was Tommy Stevens not in the game there?
Dave Dickinson decides to throw the ball on 3rd and 1. Doesn't go to get the first with a minute 20 to go. And well, there's a threat of run with Logan there. It's still, you still just play your regular defense. 3rd and 1, Tommy Stevens gets the first down. They stay alive, keep the drive alive. That's just a bizarre decision by Dave Dickinson.
Outside of Tommy Stevens fumbling it against Montreal last week, I don't know if anybody in the league's been better at doing what he does for the last few years.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a one-off fumble. So Tommy Stevens has been money on short yardage. But
wow,
credit to Jameer Thurman. He was behind that rush, and Jake Mayer didn't see him.
Second interception of the season for Thurman. Calgary now, their playoff hopes, taking a kick right in the gut. They've made it 18 years in a row. They'll need some significant help now.
Well, look, you know, I mean, there was a lot of work that had to be done to come back down 8 points. Let's not put the whole game on that one play, but you know, they still had to stop Rock Armstead.
There goes Armstead. He's got a 200-yard game. He's been unstoppable all night. Safe to say, pretty decent pickup for the Riders 4 days ago.
Yeah, unbelievable. And now needs another rest after 200 yards. That's, you know, and a lot where he would get that extra 4 or 5 after contact. But the guys up front, I mean, that was the question mark. And the guys up front for Saskatchewan, Nick Jones, Noah Zur, Trayvon Tate out there at tackle, boy, they opened up some holes. They really reestablished the line of scrimmage so that when Armstead was getting that contact, it was in the linebacking core at the very least.
3rd and just inches. Patterson will come in to ice it away. Pushing ahead, he's got it. First down, Saskatchewan, and it'll be a victory on the road for the Riders.
The Riders have won a game after Labor Day for a first time in a long time.
0-14 after Labor Day. 0-1 this year. 0-7 in 2023. 0-6 in 2022. And the fans who came out to McMahon wearing green tonight have been rewarded.
Victory formation.
Trevor Harris, 16 of 18 for an efficient 248 yards. Story of the game, signing less than a week ago. Rock Armstead, 25 carries, 207 yards.
And when it was time to go play action, Trevor Harris only missed 2 throws tonight and threw for almost 250. So you add all that up, and you're almost at 500 yards of offense for the Roughriders.
Very complete offensive outing for Saskatchewan. Calgary left looking for answers. Armstead was heading off.
He was going to go and do the post-game interview. He's ready.
We appreciate him being ready to do that, yeah.
I saw Claire over there and said, well, I'm going to go get ready for my interview because that's clearly what's going to happen here. Ottawa next for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Rock Armstead will get to play his old team.
Another storyline there for Armstead, who was sensational. The Riders, for the first time in more than 2 months, have a victory and have stopped the bleeding after going winless in 7.
Corey Mace, some good feelings when he's been around the Calgary organization, both as a player and now as the opposing coach. Gets a big, big win that this team desperately needed.
Oh, the new kid on the block, Rock Steady for the Riders tonight. 207 yards for Armstead in his debut. Stampeders tack on another loss in a disappointing season. Their playoff hopes officially on life support. Riders right back in the thick of it with a 37-29 win. Sports Center is next. Good night from McMahon Stadium in Calgary.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sports Center. Mark and Glenn with you. Boy, did the Riders need that one. Yeah. The Stamps needed it as well. But when you take a look at Saskatchewan, the class of the West to begin this season, then a complete drought since July, and they get a victory over the Calgary Stampeders, who, you know, as Dustin Nielsen just said, their playoff hopes now on life support.
This West division is so tight right now, just about a month to go in the regular season, so every point counts. And for Calgary, they're not used to this. They came in winless since August 4th. It's a 5-game winless span. It's their worst stretch in about 20 years. Saskatchewan, winless since July 19th, going 0-6-1 late in the second. Riders up 10-9. Trevor Harris finds Keyshawn Johnson downfield, chased by DeMario Houston. Johnson spins. Houston's leveled by Samuel Emelis. Originally a 35-yard gain. MLS called for unnecessary roughness as Houston is shaken up on the play, but a couple plays later, Michael Armstead takes the rock, picks up a big gain, is taken down eventually, but right at the goal line. Armstead's first game with the Riders after being released by the Red Blacks finishes the first half with over 100 rushing yards as the Riders would punch that in for the score. After the Stamps possession stalled, Riders get it back in the red zone. Harris under some pressure, scrambles, he'll take off and he goes down right around the 5-yard line. Then a couple plays later, Harris takes it in himself at the goal line. Riders score twice in just over 2 minutes and they led 24-9 at the break. But in the third quarter, it's now 24-16 Riders. Harris slings it to Canadian Leon Schaefer-Baker. Look at him absorb the contact, scores from 25 yards out. The Mississauga, Ontario natives' third touchdown of the season. 31-16, Riders in control. But in the fourth quarter, another Canadian receiver making an impact as Calgary gets back in this game. Jake Mayer throws a strike here to Jalen Philpott for a Stamps touchdown. His first in 9 games. Stamps back within a score. Under 4 minutes to go, 5-point game. Stamps forcing the Riders to punt, but Tyler Richardson called for contacting the kicker. Crucial mistake leads to a first down for the Riders. So that comeback would fall short for Calgary as the Riders take this one 37-29. The Riders finally picking up a post-Labor Day win. It's their first since 2021. Snaps a streak of 16 straight losses after Labor Day. That is shocking. You're right. The win was also Saski's first since July 19th, as I mentioned, snapping the 7-game winless stretch, while Calgary is now winless in 6. Trevor Harris picks up a rare win against the Stamps, now 3-11-2 in his career against Calgary.
And you think the Riders are happy that Michael Armstead is now on their team? He is new on SC with Claire Hanna.
Rock, you just had the best performance by a running back in the CFL this season. 208 yards in a single game. How did you do it?
Oh, man, these guys moving up front, they had a great game plan. I just want to thank these coaches for bringing me into this organization. And I was just doing my job, trying to help these guys win, getting the pushes, and ultimately, it came down to the last possession, last drive. So I did it by, a shootout game.
Well, you joined a new team. You told me at the half, you've hardly been with this team. So what was your attitude coming into this game?
To be myself. Man, I played Calgary twice already. I went for 120 yards on them last time on 10 carries. So in my head, I already knew I was running for over 120 today.
Now, this team, the Riders, have not won since July 17th. What can you say, though, about how this could be a turning point in the season?
That's changed. We're here, and we're here to win now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trevor Harris threw for just under 250 yards tonight. Here he is, new on SC.
Trevor, your first win since July 17th, and we talked about the fact that the Riders haven't won after Labor Day since 2021. So how does this feel?
We needed it. Any win's a big win, and anytime you come on the road, it's going to be tough to get a win. But we were able to get this one, and obviously left some stuff out there, as every week does. But we'll watch the film, clean it up, and move on to next week.
Now we got to talk about Rock Armstead. He just joined your team a couple of days ago. I barely knew the playbook. He puts up over 200 yards. How did he do it?
Yeah, he's a stud. He's awesome. We were able to get the run game going, and it was really helpful for us in terms of being able to be balanced, and actually probably more than balanced. That might be one of the least amount of times I've thrown the ball in a game, so it was beautiful. But it gives us something to grow on. It gives us something to have a little bit more of a downhill and physical identity, and so a big win for us. We're fired up, and fired up for Rockwell to be with us, and so yeah, awesome.
You also talked about how one win can just turn into a waterfall for this season. Do you feel like you guys built enough confidence here to continue this momentum?
100%. I'm really confident in our offense and who we are, and our scheme and our personnel, and obviously who's leading us with Mark. So we're gonna get this one, enjoy it for next maybe hour or two, and then we'll start watching some film on Ottawa on the way home.
Thank you, Trevor.
All right, God bless. TJ, Trace, get your butt to bed. I know Trippy's probably asleep. I love you, Kaylee. Bye-bye.
Some called this the game of the year. Earlier tonight, it was the Ticats Argos picking up in the second quarter, tied at 3. Bo Levi Mitchell to Giovanni Robinson. Robinson's second career CFL touchdown. He's also a former college basketball player, so you know he's got the hops.
He got up there.
11-10 Ticats now in the second quarter. It's Chad Kelly finding Mackay Polk for the score. The second straight week that the two have connected for a touchdown. The Argos also converted on a 2-point try, and they led 18-14 at the half. To the fourth quarter now. Ticats up 6. Kelly throws it deep. Davaris Daniels comes up with a catch. It's 66 yards. That led to a Kelly rushing touchdown to make it a 1-point lead. But after the Ticats kicked the field goal to retake the lead, the Argos now pressing with just over a minute left. Kelly looking for Polk, who slips in the end zone and can't make the catch. Field conditions were an issue in this one. It was initially called pass interference. It was overturned, and the Argos settled for a 29-yard field goal to take a 1-point lead. Still with 56 seconds left to play, which you know in the CFL can be an eternity. As we flash back to Labor Day, Mark Leggio with the 55-yard field goal with just over 2 minutes left. That led to the Ticats win over Toronto. As we go back to tonight, Hamilton needing a win to get within 4 points of Toronto. Less than 20 seconds left. Going for it on 3rd and 4. Mitchell to James Butler. That extends the drive. Then, with no time left on the clock, it was Leggio with a chance to win it.
But 47 yards. Mark Leggio. It's accurate. It's good. The Ticats storming the field in a walk-off winner for Mark Leggio.
What a huge kick from Leggio, who nails it from 48 yards after starting the season 2-9. The Ticats have won 3 straight to keep their playoff hopes alive. They take it 33-31.
Like Rudy there getting carried.
It did look like Rudy, didn't it, in the final scene. Hamilton wins a perfect 3-0 against Toronto this season. It's their first season sweep of the Argos since 2019. The Ticats also snapped a 6-game losing streak at BMO Field.
You know, it's like my motto that me and my coach always used to say, like going 1 for 1, and I'm just glad that my team got to drive the field there at the end and get me into range to have a crack at winning the game. And, you know, once I put it through, you know, I'm still locked in, but then once it goes in, I was looking at my teammates running at me. I said, okay, here we go. Now that feeling's amazing.
Because you don't get a lot of control when those big guys grab you and they hoist you in the air. Yeah. Gravity is not your friend anymore. So take us through that. Like, do you guys actually enjoy that?
Yeah, like I've never really gotten to be a part of that so much. You know, luckily I'm only like a small guy. I'm not a 300-pounder, so, you know, I'm a little light for him. But it's awesome. Getting a different view when you're up high feels good to be tall, you know what I mean?
So following that loss, the Argos remain in 3rd in the East. They square off with the 10-2-1 Alouettes next week. Hamilton remains last in the East ahead of a Week 17 visit to BC to face the Leos. No movement in the West either, but the Roughriders move to just a point behind the Bombers and Lions. With more, let's throw it over to Kate Burdess in the panel.
Alongside Jim Barker, David Sanchez, Milt Stiegel, and what a start to Week 16 in the CFL. Let's start with the early game, and it's always a great time between the Toronto Argonauts and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They never really disappoint. But for Bo Levi Mitchell, Ches, he was phenomenal in this game. 362 yards. He's taking care of the ball as well. And he is keeping these Hamilton Tiger Cats alive in the postseason race.
And he said it after the game. He said, I think what everybody in that locker room is feeling, and that's that they feel like they can beat anybody now. If they get a ticket to the dance, they're pretty confident. Look who they beat in the last few weeks. They're feeling pretty good about themselves. For me, it's what I saw in the pocket, and really, you know, him using his legs. He's not running the ball, but just buying time, stepping up in the pocket, and the confidence of what he's seeing. Jim, you mentioned it. Bill, you talked about it. He's stepping up in the pocket. He's seeing the rush around him, or he's feeling the rush around him, but he's not seeing it. He's clear looking downfield, and with his arm, his touch, and what he's able to do, pretty tough to stop Bo and that offense when he's feeling the way he feels.
And Bo's going to get all the credit, deservingly so, but as you mentioned, he feels comfortable in that pocket. He feels comfortable because that offensive line is giving him time. Yes, there is some pressure, but they're not totally getting the ball where they're hitting him. So that allows him to do what he does best, and that's throw the ball down the field, because that's what he wants to do. So this team is still in the hunt. This was a must-win. I said this earlier today. The next game is a must-win. But if Bo is playing like that, if he continues playing like that, that defense with Chris Jones at the helm continues doing what they're doing, hey, you never know what could happen. If this team gets in the playoff, and we know what Bo can do once he gets in the playoffs, you never know what can happen.
One thing's for sure, we're seeing the Boveralls. He's wearing these overalls before every single game. They're lucky overalls now, so we'll definitely see them next week.
Overalls.
JB, let's go to the West now. And for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, I mean, this was a monster victory. Everything they've been through as of late, they were 0-6-1 in their last 7 coming into this one. And it started with their new running back, Rock Armstead. We knew when he left Ottawa, it wasn't because of his performance on the field, but he was incredible in this game.
Well, he's a fantastic running back. He's basically an NFL type of running back. He can do all of it. He's a great pass protector, but you'll see his quickness here. For a big guy, he has quickness. He runs strong. I mean, in your initial outing, 25 carries, 207 yards. And again, Trevor Harris was 16 of 18 for 248 yards. A lot of it because he had such comfort with Armstead back there. So, you know, he had problems in Ottawa. I've been in those situations. They felt their team would be better without him there. And he gets an opportunity to go and hopefully learn from that and get into a situation that works better for him. This Saskatchewan Roughrider team, they got a lot off their back today. They hadn't won a game after Labor Day since 2021. I mean, that's a long time to not win a game down the stretch.
But this Rider team is undefeated after Labor Day. Meaning that's the old group. I'm sure that's their saying.
Well, the bottom line is, I know Corey Mace made mention of it. Whatever. This team now, they're ready to make their run. All that other stuff's behind them. Now they're ready to make their run, and that West, anybody can win it.
They can. So for the Riders, that's their first win since July the 19th. Different story for the Calgary Stampeders. We can't even get into them, but things are looking dire there. But so far, so good. Week 16. We'll see what Saturday brings as we throw it back to SportsCenter.
We certainly will, Kate. We've got another CFL doubleheader on Saturday. Here are the odds courtesy of FanDuel. The Red Blacks host the Alouettes as a slight underdog. Montreal is the favorite to win the Grey Cup. And then it's the Blue Bombers as a 1.5-point favorite in Edmonton. The Elks have covered the spread in 5 straight games. Make sure to catch all the action right here on TSN and